U.S. Government Shutdown 2025 Update. Imagine your government simply stops working. No pay, no services, millions of families in limbo. That's exactly what's happening in the United States right now. The federal government has been shut down, the second longest in U.S. history, and the ripple effects are spreading across the economy, households, and global markets. In this video, I'll break down what's going on, key dates you must know, and my solutions for how it can be ended, because the cost of inaction is colossal. Why it happened? On the 1st of October 2025, at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the U.S. federal government entered a shutdown. The root cause? Congress failed to pass the necessary appropriations, or a continuing resolution, for fiscal year 2026, and political deal-making broke down. Disagreements over foreign aid rescissions, health insurance, especially subsidies under the Affordable Care Act, and spending levels. About 900,000 federal employees were immediately affected and millions more are working without pay. Key dates and milestones. September 30, 2025. The funding term for FY 2025 ends with no full appropriations bills enacted. October 1, 2025. Shutdown begins at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Mid-October, staffing shortages begin to show up in air travel delays, agency operations reduced. Late October, key Senate votes fail yet again to fund federal workers. November 1, 2025. SNAP, WIC, and preschool aid face funding exhaustion. Beyond November, any new deal will likely need to extend past November 21. Who and what is most affected? Federal employees and contractors, furloughs, delayed paychecks, household strain. Military, national security. Service members continue working, but pay risks rise. Public services and benefits. SNAP, WIC, and other programs risk interruption. Economy and business. $7 billion to $15 billion weekly GDP loss, delayed federal contracts, and reduced consumer demand. Governance and global confidence. A protracted shutdown damages U.S. credibility. Why this matters? If you depend on government contracts or grants, uncertainty is high. Data delays disrupt investment and policymaking. Lower-income households face spending reductions, affecting consumption. Internationally, a prolonged U.S. shutdown raises doubts about fiscal stability and the strength of the dollar. Predictions and risks. If the shutdown drags into mid-November, expect layoffs rather than furloughs, with long-term economic damage. Analysts project weekly losses of up to $15 billion. Markets could become volatile, businesses delay hiring, and global investors may reassess U.S. fiscal credibility. Felix Solutions. How to end the shutdown. 1. Clean continuing resolution. Reopen government immediately without policy riders. 2. Firm deadline for negotiations. Set 90 days to finalize major spending and policy issues. 3. Back pay guarantee. Ensure all furloughed employees and military personnel receive pay. 4. Business contingency planning. Encourage private sector risk assessment and buffer creation. 5. Market readiness. Use scenario analysis for business and investment decisions. 6. Responsible political messaging. End the blame game and restore public trust. Conclusion. If you're a business, audit your exposure to federal shutdown risk. If you're a worker or citizen, check your benefits and prepare budgets. If you're an investor, monitor developments and hedge accordingly. And as a citizen, demand your representatives reopen the government now. In our next video, we'll deep dive into how this shutdown could trigger a U.S. economic data blackout, impacting the Federal Reserve's policy decisions and global markets. Subscribe and hit the bell. I'm Felix at Mindful Money and Meals. Stay informed, stay prepared, and keep your mind sharp and your money mindful. See you next time.